Today, I will be talking about the Falcon 9 and the KonTiki. On May 29, 2020, SpaceX company succeeded in launching a crew exploration vehicle. Despite the current situation with COVID-19, it was a festive time for the US. It may not seem like a big deal, because U.S. space science is highly developed and has many that kinds of experience. However, we need to take a deeper look into this event to understand more about why it was festive. The SpaceX was founded in 2002 and succeeded in breakthrough solution. One was the retrieval of an orbital rocket in 2015. The other was to launch the first reusable orbital rocket in 2017. After 17 years of research, US was able to save the cost of a rocket launch with a reusable rocket. One of the most important technologies is landing the projectile on the floating drone ship in the middle of the ocean instead of on land. One cannot be unsurprised to see what a reckless and grand idea this was. After the space shuttle was retired in 2011, the US, NASA, had to borrow a rocket launch from Russia to send the US astronauts to the International Space Station. In a way, this means they are now able to focus on developing the space science again. As you all know, CEO Elon Musk of the SpaceX company has a final goal of sending mankind to Mars. This means the mission to send man to Mars is still ongoing 50 years after Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon on July 1969. What has occurred to me as I hear about these events is that because there are great heroes such as Elon Musk in every generation, mankind has been able to continue moving onward to unknown territory since migrating from the Africa. There is one thing I am curious about regarding the human migration. A long time ago, when there was no oceanography, how did people know there were islands far out in the middle of the ocean? I can't help but be curious and think how amazing it is people were able to find so many islands to dominate without GPS, compass, or landmarks in the middle of the ocean. They only used the stars, the currents, and the wind to navigate their way in finding these islands. Thinking about it, I would guess there were heroes such as Elon Musk of that generation to continuously research and challenge themselves to slowly find ways to do so. There is another hero I would like to introduce today. Thoreau, a Norwegian explorer and anthropologist, wanted to prove his theory that the Polynesians living in the Pacific Islands were people who had migrated from South America. He made a raft in the same primitive way and, relying only on the currents and the wind, set sail for 8,000 kilometers on July of 1947. After sailing for about 100 days, he finally arrived in the Tuamotus Islands of Pacific ocean. It was a great adventure and a challenge that he set his life on. This challenge of Thoreau, along with his friends, was made into a movie called KonTiki. There was also a museum made in honor of his spirit of challenge. The museum was named KonTiki, the greatest sea adventure of our time. More importantly, his spirit of challenge was passed on to the younger generation of Norway, who left a mark in history by sailing and adventuring the Pacific on a raft in the years of 2006 and 2015. During the sail of 2006, Thoreau Harry Erodal's grandson took part in the adventure in memory of his grandfather. Likewise, humankind is moving onward to a new territory and world, and their spirits of the challenge are milestones that allow others to become heroes of their generation. That was just a short food for thought from Professor Kim of South Korea. Thank you very much.